Greetings, Inquisitor. I'm pleased you found this holocron. Today is another update, week 25 of the Darth Loquitur account. For anyone who doesn't know or hasn't seen this series before, I started a new account back in October of last year, and every week I give an update, 1 week's worth of progress, all at once, characters, upgrades, gear, mod work, and talk you through everything I did with the account for the week. And this week we're going to show some gameplay in both the squad arena and the fleet arena so that you can see how my account and how my teams are doing in those areas of the game. With that said, let's get over to the video and have a look at what we did for the week. Padme was close to an upgrade, and we did get her chirotechs so she could have the upgrade, and I upgraded her fairly early in the week, and at that point she needed another set of chirotechs and also a stun gun. I'm going to go ahead and attach gear. I normally recommend to people to leave the gear floating until you're ready to commit to a character, but in this case, I know for sure that Padme is a character that I'm going to commit these gear pieces to, and I don't want to accidentally assign them to some other character. So I'm going to continue to work on those two gear pieces, and by the end of the week, we had the stun gun farmed up and almost the chirotech, so we're close to getting her another level. General Veers is also available to upgrade. So is Ahsoka Tano, and in the end we decided to go with Ahsoka Tano with some of this gear because she is in the Padme team, which is now our squad arena team, so we need to keep building that. And then we also can upgrade Bastila Shan. She's the leader of our Jedi team. We're still using her with the other Jedi as a defense in arena and potentially an offense, so we do need to keep putting a little bit of effort into her. She's a good character, and if we build Jedi Knight Revan, which we will someday, then she'll go into that team. For mod work for the week, farm mostly mods all week. I did spend about 1 day doing some slicing materials just so I could attempt a couple slices, selling off all the mods that we don't want, and then we go through and we start working on these mods. Anybody who doesn't have a mod method certainly needs to develop a mod method and go through, work on these mods every week. I'm always trying to get speed mods with speed substats. I divided my time this week. Here we've got a green mod. I invest in it. The stats look pretty good: crit chance, offense, health, and speed. So I'm going to go ahead and level that up and see if I can slice it, see if I get lucky. And I do. I get a hit on speed. I get another hit on speed. We go to 13. I slice it one last time and go to 17. So it's 4 upgrades to that speed sub. And I always tell people, if you want a goal, you want to get at least 1 mod a week that has double-digit stats. So there's my double-digit mod for the week with a 17 speed diamond. And then for the rest of my efforts, I'm not very well rewarded this week. So there's really a lot of mod work that I did. I farmed about half speed mods and about half offense mods, and we're still looking to build a good offense set, trying to get something on Jedi Knight Anakin that I can 6-dot, but not much success with the 6-dot viable offense mods this week, and really not a whole lot else to show for the whole rest of my mod work for the week. I got that one good mod, and I think I got a couple of them with like 8 or 9 speed that could potentially be sliced at some point in the future, but not a whole lot of good finished mods for the week. For the account in general, I think overall, for being about 6 months in, I've got fairly lucky with mods. We've got 3 completely finished mods with 5 speed upgrades in them. We've got quite a few with 4 speed, so overall we're doing fairly well. And then I went through ships, and I'm almost trying to force it at this point because I want some ship upgrades, but there's really nothing there. I do have the potential to unlock that Cassian's U-Wing, and I do want to do it someday soon, but none of the characters are unlocked for it yet, and that's a lot of galactic power, and I just don't want to commit to it at this point. So I look at the capital ship Executrix, trying to figure out if there's something that I want to invest in over here. I have a limited amount of prestige. I don't want to throw it all away. You really have to save a lot of prestige if you're going to build up one of the capital ships starting over. So I'll save my prestige. I don't actually invest in anything after all. Now we're going to go into the squad arena, and we'll give you an idea of how this Padme team runs. Now it's a Relic 7 Anakin, and then the rest of the characters are just support. You saw that Padme is at gear 10. And we've got Yoda in there. I think he's gear 11. And then Kenobi, I think, is still down at gear 8. And Ahsoka, at this point, is gear 10, I think. So not huge characters, but remember, they're all in support of Anakin, and Anakin's the big character. And as you can see, he triggers an extra turn whenever one of his teammates goes below half or gets killed. So basically, with a low-level team like this, you're just looking for other characters to, when they get hurt or die, then Anakin goes and does a bunch of damage and pretty much wipes out the team. So we do a little scouting here, and this is a pretty good Empire team with a fast Vader and some decent characters, and we kind of want to give a demo of how this team works. So here we go. We'll get on in there. We take all the debuffs. He gets Merciless Massacre up and kills somebody. Now notice, Jedi Knight Anakin's ability does interrupt the Merciless Massacre. Vader's not done with his Merciless Massacre yet. So we're going to wait, and then here we go. We get another turn within the Merciless Massacre, and we're working on everybody but Vader. If we can get all the other characters down and then just have it be Anakin versus Vader, we should be able to win with our Anakin. So we still got Padme around. He's going to come in here, Merciless Massacre, kill off Padme. That triggers us to be able to finish him off. So in Squad Arena, it doesn't have to be a pretty win. You're not looking for 3-star wins. You're just looking to have the last character standing at the end of the matchup. So those kinds of matches can still go well. Here's another team that it's just kind of a mix and match team, but it's doing really well. It's pretty high ranked. So again, we take damage, we get our extra turn, we do double damage during that turn, we do the area effect and hurt everybody. And we don't mind that a character's dead, because as soon as somebody else gets hurt, we're going to do it again. So Yoda's going to steal buffs, then he goes over here and tries to get an attack and gets deflected. And you can see pretty much every time Anakin goes, he's just wiping out the other team. And then we've got the courage mechanic working for us for these other characters, so we do get to get some big hits with them as well. And just finish the cleanup on this team here, and it's another victory. So as I was pushing my way up, I haven't really gone for much over top 100, but in this particular instance, I'm going to see if I can get that far today. Here's another against a better Vader team, right? So we're going to take this attack, and then we're going to do this middle skill with Padme to get up that protection up right away, even while Vader's still in his Merciless Massacre, because we can't afford to take too many of those debuffs or wait for it. So we did the buffs. We got a ton of courage up now, so every time we hit, we're doing pretty good. She's got 18 stacks of courage on, so she can almost kill Vader, and then Anakin will finish him off. And then when it's just us versus Thrawn, we're not too afraid of that. We finish off Thrawn and get another victory. As you move up in the ranks in Squad Arena, especially with the focus in the game right now on Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, you can expect to face a lot of First Order teams. And here we see a couple First Order teams in the queue, and the one here at the top is 124,000 galactic power, 4 relic characters. But we're not afraid of it. We're going to go ahead and dive right in and see what we can do. We get a character killed right away. We come across, we do our big damage. Then his Sith Trooper gets to counterattack with his big damage. He gets a free turn whenever his allies get killed. So now we're just removing buffs with Ahsoka. We're working our way around here. We've got to kill this Sith Trooper. He's the biggest threat right now. And here we're going to just do the basic so that we get protection up to help us. And then we take him out. Now we're going to heal Ahsoka back up. So she got below half, triggered Anakin, got a free turn for Anakin. That free turn gets a free turn for Padme, so they both get to go. Then I heal up Ahsoka, and she potentially gets to set off the trigger again now that she's back at good health. So now Kenobi's gone down below half, and we trigger a turn. Padme gets to go. Now we get their turns, and we've got the ability buff immunity and healing immunity on these guys from Anakin's basic. I always recommend that people put some potency on Anakin to make sure that you can get those buffs to stick, debuffs to stick off of his basic. And here you can see Kylo Ren and Kylo Ren Unmasked both benefit a lot from healing and protection. And with those buff immunity and healing immunity, they really have a hard time, and we're able to take them out. So here we're looking at some different teams. We potentially can go for top 50 today. So we decide, yep, indeed, let's go ahead and head on in there and see if we can get a top 50 win for the day. Against these Jedi Knight Revan teams, we're in pretty good shape. We can remove that initial buff that has all of the foresight on it. There we attack the weakest character just to make sure we get rid of the savior effect from Jedi Knight Revan. And then Jolee Bindo is the threat here. If you leave him alive, anybody else you kill can potentially be resurrected. So we get Savior gone with Yoda. That brings a character back to life instantly. So we do that, we pop that on Yoda, and then we're able to kill Jolee Bindo, and he stays dead. And then the rest of it's just academic after that. You know, we're just going around wiping people up. So that's it. And we got a rank 48 placement for the day with 150 crystals and some decent loot there. So I think that's the first time I've placed in the top 50 in a long time, maybe ever, since I started the account. So, but the team's coming along. It's going pretty well. If we look over to fleet, we've got Geos going in fleet. We've got Anakin's ship at 6 stars, and then Anakin, of course, is at Relic 7. So that's a pretty big powerhouse ship. Ahsoka's ship is in. It's decent. We've got Plo as a reinforcement. We've got the Houndstooth coming along. So against a team like this, we have the ability to attack first. We're going to go ahead and we have the ability to do a mass assist on our first attack. So we target Jedi Knight Anakin and we take him out pretty much just in that one hit. Bosk gets his taunt up. And now we're just kind of waiting because we're going to bring in Anakin and we're going to put buff immunity on Bosk. But right now we're delaying. We're not going to use our best skills. And here we go. And then we use the area effect that gets the buff immunity on him. And we have him stunned from Sunfac. It's very important that that people note the interaction there. That stun from Sunfac allows us to get that buff immunity onto Bosk, and then the next time he goes to take a turn, he's stunned, so he doesn't get to use his basic to remove the debuffs that we have on him, and we're able to fairly easily kill him. So now we just have this Millennium Falcon left to go, working on that, and it's nice that Anakin's skill can't be dodged, because the Falcon is kind of a dodgy ship. So in this case, we pull out the victory, and I'm in the top 10 routinely. Most days I can get into the top 5. So for this video, I sort of had to go up one at a time from 10 to 11 to 9, just to kind of show you guys. And here we're fighting home 1 with a relic level TIE silencer. And Kylo Ren Unmasked. And oddly enough, the ship that you want to get out of here first in a matchup like this is the Xanadu Blood, because that ship can be annoying. It gets extra attacks, and it can pull assists. So we don't want to kill the TIE Silencer until we know we can kill it. If we do a little bit of damage to it and then leave it alive, it's more dangerous because it gets 15% additional damage every time it takes damage from an attack. So we don't want to ramp up the TIE Silencer too much. And here, again, we're stuck behind this Houndstooth. We're going to bring this in. We're going to put the debuffs on the Houndstooth. And it's kind of low on turn meter, and we have a basic attack off of our Geos that takes away turn meter. So we're able to kill it before it can get rid of our buffs. Now we have to focus on the Silencer because the other character there is stealthed. So then we do the assist, and we get the TIE Silencer out of there before he can do too much damage to us. Finish it off. Victory. And again, it doesn't matter if it's a pretty win or not. We just need to close it out and get a win. All right, here we've got another relic level TIE Silencer. a command shuttle with 2 relic characters and a Gear 12, and then a relic level First Order TIE fighter. And this is a First Order team that's in good shape. And the capital ship is at 5 stars, but it's really got a lot of skills at a high level. So this is pretty much already a First Order fleet in its finished form, except for the capital ship. So here we're just going to have to take a bunch of attacks. We're going to have to take the Hunter Killer Missile. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to just do as much damage as we can. And luckily we get the extra assist from the soldier. And that's the risk of a First Order fleet on defense. If you lose your TIE Silencer, the power of the fleet goes down in a hurry. And we were able to take that out pretty much in one hit. So now we're going to bring in Plo to give life and protection back. Then we're going to give turn meter to our guys. We're going to take a hit on that shuttle because we're able to do that without triggering the counterattack right now. And then we work on a couple of these other ships just a little bit. Then we're going to put taunt over here on the Sunfac. Now we're going to go and try to stun the shuttle. And now that he's stunned, we've got him pretty much under control. With the big assist, it's so much damage we don't want to waste it on one of the guys that's almost dead, so we target 5s. He's not the best target, but because we can kill him pretty much in one hit, you have to take that opportunity and get the ship count back in your advantage. So here we're going to bring in our Anakin's Starfighter, and we'll just finish off this tie here, and that's it. And we get the win against a fleet that's got quite a bit more galactic power than we do. That Relic Spy really makes a difference. The damage from that attack is significant. Alright, now here we're going to get in against a fleet that's obviously being prepared for a Malevolence capital ship. So he's got the Hyena Bomber already going and pretty well off. I think this is a 6-star Hyena Bomber. And we have to attack Sunfac first because he has a ability where he gets taunt if you have buffs on. So in this case, we have buffs. He gets taunt. We have to deal with him first. Now we have the Hyena Bomber to deal with. We can't even get to that TIE Silencer if we wanted to. And now he brings in a Spy as a reinforcement. And we're taking a lot of damage. So we're going to go ahead and bring in Plo, get some health and protection back. And then we're just going to go back to attacking this Hyena Bomber. Now we've got the stun from Sunfac, and we try to stun the Spy. We don't get it. We get counterattacked, so that's inconvenient. Now we're going to put the taunt onto the Sunfac. Now we can target the TIE Silencer, and we can get a bunch of assists, and with one volley, we take the TIE Silencer out. And that makes us feel much better about this matchup at this point. And we'll go back to working on the Hyena Bomber. We don't really want to take counterattacks from the Spy and put him back under stealth unless we have to. He gets additional damage when he's stealthed, so we want to avoid that. Now we have to put him under stealth. There's not much choice we have. And now we're going to bring in our own Hound's Tooth just to soak hits from these guys so that hopefully we can keep all 3 of our Geos here for big assists. And here we go. Then we get him out of here, and then just have the Spy left. And we've got 5 ships on the table. Well, 4 ships on the table now. But still feel pretty good about that matchup at that point. And that is the rank 5 for us. Now, just to show, it goes up pretty steeply from here on my fleet shard. So the guys above that really have quite a lot of fleet. So this guy's, what, 371, 372, something like that. So he's got about 80,000 more galactic power and fleets than I do. And so here we go. We don't want to target this Anakin first because that'll give the Houndstooth turn meter. So we don't want to target the Anakin until we can do our mass assist and kill it. So we do that. We go for the stun on Bosk. And I think if we would have gotten that stun right there, this battle may have gone better for us. But having avoided that stun, now we're kind of behind the 8 ball. And he's got a bunch of these characters. And this is a fleet that's being developed for the Negotiator. So he's got the Clone Sergeant. He's had the 5 ship, Anakin ship. He's got all these Galactic Republic going pretty well. So we bring in the Plo for the life and protection again. And now we're going to try working on the Clone Sergeant. But he's got that Houndstooth over there, and I should have probably not attacked that Clone Sergeant the last time, left him some protection so he could have had Taunt up, and maybe we could have killed him with the Mass Assist. But now we're stuck behind this Houndstooth. We don't have a debuff on him to get rid of his protection up mechanics, and the opponent's just bringing in more and more stuff. So here we get the Mass Assist, and we do get to kill the Clone Sergeant. And now we've got the debuff on the Houndstooth, and you can see we're working away on it now. But too little too late. We lost too many ships in the process, and it's not looking good for us now. So we don't really want to do the area effect again in case he removes the debuffs. We want to be able to get the debuffs back on. And here I'm kind of desperate, so I go ahead and I put the Taunt over onto Anakin's ship. I was thinking it was going to be able to last a little better than it did, but it very quickly took enough bullets to die. And here he's already got Rex going, and at this point I don't even really have much of a chance because most of my damage dealers are gone. I do have the Spy left, and maybe he could pull out some kind of miracle. So we just keep playing just to see what happens, but you know, now we can use our ult, and it's not really going to do that much. And we've just got the Spy left. He gets Taunt back, and that's it. So we're done. We get rank 5 in fleet and 300 crystals for that and a bunch of other stuff. So that's how the team is currently playing in the state that I'm in at 25 weeks. So you get a little bit of an impression on how we perform in Squad Arena and in Grand Arena. And again, for new players, if you're a new player and you're watching this, you have to understand, at early game, if you start chasing the Squad Arena placement and Fleet Arena placements, and you're going to end up either spending a lot of money to do it, or you're going to end up getting very frustrated because you can't. So the middle ground is to say, okay, I understand that I'm not going to get maybe first place in the Grand Arena right away, or Squad Arena right away. I understand I might not get that in Fleet, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on focused teams and continue to work my way up until eventually I get there. And that's what I'm doing on this account. And you can see 6 months in, I placed in the top 50 in Squad and top 5 in Fleet, and we're getting decent rewards out of there. Having only spent $20 per month in the account for a total of $100 at this point. So definitely not a lot spent to catch up. But that's it. You know, patience and focus is the way to get in and get better placement in those game modes. Also, you'll notice from my updates, for anybody who's been watching the videos for a while, you know, there was a lot of action, 3 or 4 characters getting upgraded every week, and a lot of gear decisions to be made, and now that's kind of at a halt. And week by week, there's 1 or 2 characters that are getting upgraded, and that's it. And for anybody who plays this game, there's going to be periods like that. And in the gaming community, I've always heard it called grinding. You know, you're farming the same shards every day, and you're getting shards, but your characters aren't really at 7 stars yet, and they're not going to be anytime soon. And most characters need the same gear. Like right now, I just need a ton of stun cuffs across so many characters, it's not even funny. So until I start farming stun cuffs in a dedicated manner, all those characters are just stuck on the same gear. And your progress feels stalled. You know, it just doesn't feel like you're making much progress in the game. And, I've been aware of the grind ever since EverQuest came out, back in 1999 or whatever it was. And there was gear in the game that you needed, and you would just have to go sit on the ground and wait for that creature to spawn and kill it 177 times until you finally got the item to drop that you needed. And, you just grind through it. You just keep farming, keep grinding. On the other hand, if you get up and you walk away from that, and next time you come back, there's going to be somebody else sitting there, and the next time it spawns, and they're in line to take it, and you got to wait your turn. So the moral of the story is, when you get into these grind modes, don't get distracted and go off and start other teams and start building a bunch of other characters. And you want this feeling of progress. So like, well, maybe I'll just go build a rebel team now, and I'll start clones. I'll start getting those shards together. I've already done that for a Rebel team, and the Rebel team still hasn't been started yet. I'm still waiting to start that until my galactic power is in a position where I think that that's a wise thing to do. So if you have one project in the bank where you're working on shard farms out of the shops and stuff like that, it's fine. But just remember, if you do get distracted and you start working on all kinds of new characters, those characters are just going to get stuck in the grind in the same spot that you already are with the rest of your roster. So be careful of that. Stick to what you start and work on it. And people always ask me, well, what does that mean? Does that mean relicking every character that I'm working on? It doesn't. It means work on the characters to the point where they're functional. You know, we've got that Ahsoka in the Padme team, and she's not that great right now, but it's okay. You know, we don't need to relic her. We need to relic Padme potentially, and we'll definitely need to relic Kenobi. But if you have a relic Kenobi and a relic Anakin and a Gear 12 Padme, that's good enough for a while. You know, you can put that team on the shelf at that level and just wait, you know, come back to it later. Same thing with the bounty hunters that I'm working on. We want Bosk to get some levels. We've got Jango and Boba Fett that haven't gotten attention in a while. And it's the same with them. You know, you can get that Bosk to Gear 12, maybe to relic level, and you can park them for a while. You know, you want that Bosk at least Gear 11, Gear 12 for the Houndstooth, so that you can get all the skill ups on the ship. But beyond that, once you got that and you've got a functional little bounty hunter team that can do stuff for you, you can park it. So it's not that you have to build every team out to the end game, you know, Relic 7 or whatever, but just get the teams to the point where they're functional and then start on your next project. So for these weekly videos, you're going to see for, you know, 3, 4, 5 weeks in a row, it's just going to be grinding. You know, I'll get Vader to relic here in a couple weeks, and the rest of the account's not going to be that exciting, but the only thing to do is just keep working on it, grind it out. Next week, very similar stuff. We're going to work on Queel, Piet, Bosk, and Jango. I'm still farming 4 hard nodes. It's more than I like to farm, but right now I need all 4 of these things. And if I wait on, especially the Queel node has also got the bomber, the Imperial TIE bomber. So we really want to build that and Piet for the requirements for the Sith Eternal Emperor. And then Bosk and Jango are the nodes for Bosk himself and the Houndstooth ship. So we'll keep farming those. We'll keep farming the Chirotechs to get Padme her next tier on gear. And we'll farm stun cuffs if we have leftover energy. For fleet, we're going to keep working on Anakin's ship and Grief. I farmed Scion a little bit throughout the last week, but now I'm just going to focus on 1G normal in fleets. That's got the Mark III holo projectors. And for anybody who's watched my Relic videos, that's the material that I use for the Erodium heat sinks for Relic. If we're going to take Vader up to any Relic levels, we need 6 of those that we can feed to the Scavenger. So over the course of the next week, I'm going to try to farm up 6 Mark III holo projectors to feed to the Scavenger for whenever we get Vader that high on Relics. For the Cantina, we're going to work on signal data. We need 115 of the first kind, 115 of the second, and 75 of the blue. So we'll farm that up. If we get finished on the signal data, then we will go back and we'll keep farming Marauder shards. For mod energy, I'll split between offense and speed. Refreshes are 3 a day for mods, 2 for energy, and 2 for fleet. And I'm getting pretty good crystal income now with my fleet and squad placement, so I feel confident that I'll get those refreshes every day. For the Squad Arena store, I am going to switch it over so that every day I'm going to buy 1 instance of Prestige. You can buy 10 Prestige for 600 Squad Arena currency. So I'm going to do that once every day. And then every few days you'll have enough squad currency that you can still buy a character to feed to the shard shop. But in preparation for the Malevolence, it'll probably still be, Negotiator, I'm sorry. I'm working on the Negotiator for this account. So it'll still be a couple months before I get that Negotiator. But if I start buying now 10 Prestige a day, I'll be able to pick up maybe 600 Prestige in addition to what I've got by the time we've got the capital ship. And just think about it this way. If you're doing 10 a day for 3 months, you'll have 900 Prestige. And I think it's something like 1,800 or 1,900 total prestige to go start to finish on one of these capital ships. So you really need a lot. And so for the next few months, I'll be farming one instance of prestige every day out of the squad store. In the fleet store, we're still looking for Maul and Grievous. And then every time we get to 4,000 currency in the fleet store, we buy one of the Zeta materials out of there. And then we always have 2,000 in the bank then that we can use to buy Grievous and Maul shards whenever they show up. And then everything else from the Cantina store and the Galactic War store is going into characters that I already have at 7 stars. You buy them, you get extra shards. That goes to the shard shop for currency to help me make my relic for Vader and for other characters. So that's the plan for the next week. Thank you all for watching this update. I appreciate you all. Subscribe to the channel, share it with other people who you think might like these kind of videos. And if you haven't already used your lightsaber on the like button, please do that. The lightsabers are specifically designed to pass through the like button and utterly destroy it. It's fun. It's a fun thing to do. So use it, get it done, and join us over on the Discord. I always talk about what a good Discord community we've got. That's really true. A lot of new players over there asking questions, getting good advice. So come join us on the Discord. Appreciate you all. See you in the next holocron.